Hey guys, I'm Tom, and today I'm ranking the Squid Games ranked easiest to hardest. I'm gonna have a couple of disclaimers. I'm not choosing stuff like Russian roulette, the dice key, and the cookie, the bread lottery thing. For the pure reason that I don't think those are actual Squid Game games. I'm just choosing the games if you're in Squid Games themselves. Also, I'm keeping in mind of injuries that you could have picked up in different games will obviously affect your performance in games moving onwards. This was a big part in most of the games, so I'm definitely keeping track in how long in the line the games are. And third of all, I'm going to make a situation like a hypothetical situation where you wouldn't have all those tips that the other people gave you from the other games. You would be thrown in by yourself with 455 other people who hadn't been introduced on the Netflix show. So it's unpredictable and you can't predict certain things to happen or, give yourself a little boost because you know how certain things go. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get started. I think my number 11 out of the 11 games introduced in the 3 seasons is Marbles. I think Marbles is a very doable game. I think it'd be more mentally destroying than physically tasking. For the pure reason that all of the games before that in season 1, you had to choose people who you'd work together with. Marbles was a complete turnaround for that, and either you die or the person you picked died. That's mentally destroying, because most likely it'd be someone who you are well with as a friend. But especially since you can pick the game yourself, you just have to win the other's marbles. I think this is by far the easiest game to survive in the entire Squid Game series. In number 10, we've got Dalgona. Dalgona is a very interesting game. Obviously, like I said, the hypothetical situation that you wouldn't know to lick the cookie, it sucks. It really does. But technically speaking, you can't have picked up any injuries like this. Like, you got shot in your arm and it's just weaker. Yes, it's mentally destroying because you're gonna hear gunshots around you and probably flinch a couple of times because of it. I personally don't think I'd survive this, but I do see this as one of the easier games, especially because you know what's at stake and a whole bunch of other shit that comes into conclusion. But I still think it's one of the more beatable games. My number 9 game would be Mingle. Mingle is an interesting one. I've heard very mixed opinions about Mingle and how difficult it'd be. I think I'm pretty social myself, so I'm sure I picked up some friends. It's just if you have a group of 5, obviously if it's 4, you're kind of fucked. You're gonna have to think of other strategies and stuff, and it requires quick and fluid thinking, which is really difficult, and also a lot of luck. Like you could be thrown up at someone else and just die or whatever. What I've also noticed in the series that with Mingle, if there's like let's say 20 people left, they say groups of 3. So there will always be at least 2 people who die because you can't make groups out of 3 and 20 people. You'd come out to 18 and then have 2 left over. So the problem with Mingo is if you aren't really that social or can't find anyone, and you're one of the last ones alive, it's going to be very difficult to get a group. My number 7 is red light, green light. And I so wanted to put this higher up on the list. And that's for one reason and one reason only. Everyone thinks red light, green light is one of the easier games. And I'd agree, if it wasn't for the fact that you did not know people were going to die in there. Imagine you go into the Squid Games. You think, we can earn some money by playing children's games. And the first person gets shot right in front of you. You think you wouldn't flinch? You think you wouldn't run or get scared? Whatever. I'm sure I would. I mean, I think Red Light Green Light is one of the easier games in the entire series. But that fact that you don't know people are going to die yet plays such a major role. It's not as easy, brothers. Trust me. It really isn't. They have motion sensors. Make a wrong breath, and they're like, "Oh, he moved." So, good luck. I'm sure I would die here. I wouldn't get to experience any of the other games. I'm so sure. My number 6 is Sky Squid Game. This I had a lot of trouble placing Sky Squid Game for the pure reason that it's obviously as depicted in the series, it is friendship game. You have to push at least one person off, and most of the time it's the bigger group that gets it done. You as one person are gonna have a very rough time fighting 5, 6, 7, however many people. It's doable, But think of it like this. Do you think you could realistically beat 6 people in a fight, in a fist fight, by yourself? I'm sure I wouldn't. The thing that does play a fact though is if you're on the edge, people are afraid to approach you. All you have to do is pull them once and they can either pull them with you or you can pull them like past you. I think that's the only real strength you've got if you're alone in the corner. But then you have the poles and yeah, it's just a difficult game, especially as you saw, only one person has to die. The button has to be pressed, um, but you could kill pretty much as many people as you'd like. Think of it like this: if in round 2 everyone has died because someone went fucking ballistic, kills 3, you killed him, and you're left over with 2, and the button wasn't pressed, you kill, you move on to the next platform, you have to kill yourself because there's just nothing you can do. There's just no game to be played anymore. You have to. Someone has to die, and you're the only one left. It's kind of fucked, really. But that's just part of the game, I guess. And for my number 5, the same trouble I've had with Squid Game, I've had with Squid Game. I've had a lot of trouble placing this. For the pure reason that it's like the final game, and it depends a lot on either injuries you've picked up, or friends you've made, enemies you've made. I just think Squid Game is a little more difficult depending on what party you're on. As most of you might remember, if you're on the attacking party, the first half of Squid Game you have to play on one leg. You have to play on one leg against someone with a knife. It'd be main character energy is not mine. I'm gonna be real. I would have died there. I would have tried faking him out or something, just got stabbed straight in my stomach and be like, well, damn, I thought this would go better. It didn't. If you're on the defensive party, however, though, I think you have a pretty good chance. The only issue is if they get to the end, you're dead. And injuries like maybe your leg's injured, an arm, whatever, you're just not as strong as other people. There plays a lot of factors. I personally have a lot of trouble placing Squid Game because what if there's more than 2 people? How does that work? But that's just part of the series. I can't really like make a decision on that. But I do think Squid Game is a really difficult game, depending on what party you're on. But both parties are still difficult. My number 4 is the 6-legged Pemphalon. And personally, I wanted to place this higher as well. For the pure reason that you are part of a group of 4 others. And it doesn't matter if you picked all the strongest people, all the tallest people, a good mixed group, you can lose this game on one person. You can all do your job perfectly. So perfectly, in fact, that you can go 4 times to the final mission. But if that one person in the final mission fucking sucks ass at whatever he's doing, you're not gonna make it. You're just dead. And you can't change anymore. Once you've chosen, you're fucked. And I know I didn't play all those Korean games when I was young. I could probably juggle the fucking sack, but I don't know if I could do any of those other things consistently. So, I don't know if we're gonna make this. I'm pretty sure with whatever group I picked, I don't know if I'd make this. I think this is a really, really difficult game. And in the series as well, it kind of gets skipped over. Like, a lot of people die, that's all you know. But a lot of the rounds don't get shown, obviously, because they don't face any of the main characters. But, like, I think it's hella difficult. You're completely dependent on the 4 others, not just on yourself. You can do your own job perfectly, and you'd still die, depending if those other 4 people suck. Now we're going into the top 3. And my third one is a controversial one. I've seen everyone place this quite low, which, for the most part, I'd agreed on. It's Jump Rope. Jump Rope is a pretty easy game. I think Jump Rope is one of the easier games. The only issue is, the games before Jump Rope, you can pick up multiple injuries, especially hide and seek. If you are playing Jump Rope, and in any way you are injured to your legs, or stomach, or anything of that matter, I'm sorry, you're not making it. Especially with the fact, as shown in the series, all one person has to do is cross and start there defending someone. Or maybe one person is too scared to cover the gap and jump it. You have to keep jumping. And with the pace that thing moves on, and the height you're on, and how small it is, I can assure you, I can't do 1500 jumping jacks on that, like, while that rope is coming. I can't. It's 15 whole minutes, I think, maybe 20. But I think a lot of the factors are not put into perspective that if you're injured in any way, the game becomes nearly impossible. If you have a fear of heights, the game becomes nearly impossible. If you, for whatever reason, have someone being an asshole at the end, you're fucked. The only reason why so many people made it is because Gion was obviously like, oh no, we should let them through. We can't kill these people. And he nearly got killed himself. So, like, pick your poison, man. But personally, I think this is one of the more difficult games. Purely because of the factors of the other people that can influence this game so much. And that brings me to number 2, hide and seek. And this was a difficult one to place, because obviously you have two teams with very different objectives. Team 1, the people with keys, the hiders, have to either hide until the 15 minutes are over, or they have to collect 3 keys, open a door, and find the exit. The only problem is, you don't know you need 3 keys. You have no clue for the exit. You need 3 keys to pass. None. Absolutely none. So that's already more difficult, right? Like, you come there, oh shit, I only have my square key, I can't enter it. And you have to go back, because pretty much you're at a dead end. If any of the hunters find you there, seekers, whatever you want to call them, you're dead. You can't go anywhere. Personally, as a seeker though, and I have a knife, I don't think I could kill anybody. Maybe if I got that far into the games, it'd be a little easier. But I don't think I could rightfully stab someone unless I hate their guts and they've done something to me or my friends. It's difficult. I think I wouldn't survive this game in a million years. No matter how many times you put me in there, I am not surviving that game. It's attacking other people with a knife in the middle of a game. And those other people are either dependent on it, on killing you to pass, or, like happened in the series, if one person decides to kill 4 people, 3 people on the hunter team or on the seeker team are already dead. They can't do shit. No matter what they do, they're dead. They don't have any more to kill. Everyone's already dead. What are you doing? And I think that makes it very difficult. This game has so many unexpected twists and turns and is very difficult. If you get injured anywhere throughout the game, yes, you might have killed a seeker, but you're still pretty much dead. Like, I'm sorry, but if you get stabbed in the leg, do you realistically think you can fight off another seeker? Because there's more, there's gonna come more. They see blood, they know where you are. It's not as simple as like, oh, I defeat one, I hide, I win. No. No, my friend, good luck, good luck. And now my number 1 most difficult game. Glass Bridge. I think this game is so fucking difficult. Not only does the game start off with giving you a number that you have to decide for yourself, you have no clue what those numbers do. You just have numbers. If you choose the lowest number, you're first. You're entering first. And let me tell you, the chances of making it to that other side of the bridge, barely any. You are not making it, my friend. You have a timer. If someone decides, oh, I don't want to jump anymore until someone else jumps, you're fucked pretty much. It's the most difficult game by far. And then at the end as well, the doors don't open. No, the glass just explodes. You can get a glass shard in your eye and you're probably dead. You can get it in your heart, you're probably dead. No matter what you do in that situation, either if you pass or not, you're either going to pick up a shit ton of injuries, or you need to get lucky and get none. You need to get a cross, first of all. There's a timer. Basically, at every jump, you can die if you forget for some reason, because some people didn't want to hurry up, and then there's a gap of 3 and you don't remember. You need to rethink of that. People can lie to you which one's right. People can push each other, because that's normal. This game, man, I'm not surviving that, no matter if you let me go last. I think the only reason why Guillaume survived that is main character energy, and because the other 2 people were main character classified as well. I don't think, realistically, if you put that game in front of 20, 30 real people, anyone would survive that. That'd be so real. Unless you're all friends and working together, which realistically is never going to happen in games like those, you are not winning Glass Bridge. Glass Bridge is by far the hardest. But that was my list. I hope you enjoyed it. This was probably going to be very poorly edited by me. I just wanted to post another video to keep some videos flowing, but I wanted to make this video for a while because I've seen a lot of instances on it, and I've definitely agreed with some of them, like probably Marbles and Dalgona are some of the easier games, but where a lot of people ranked Jump Rope pretty low, I think it's a pretty difficult game, especially if you had hide and seek before it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye!